Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Certified Math Majors channel. In my previous video, I showed a trick on how to find the higher order derivatives of algebraic functions. Now, in this video, I'm going to show a trick on how to find the higher order derivatives of functions that are written as a product of an algebraic function and either a transcendental or a trigonometric function. Just like in this example here, we're given f to the x equals x to the fifth e to the x, and we're going to find the third derivative of x. Now notice that the function x to the fifth e to the x is a product of x to the fifth, which is an algebraic function, and e to the x, which is a natural exponential function that is classified as a transcendental function. Now, in order to solve the third derivative of this function, we need to make use of the Pascal's triangle. Now, the Pascal's triangle, every row of this Pascal's triangle represents the derivative that we are trying to get. So the first row, that's 0. The second row is 1, so that means we're getting the first derivative. This is for the second derivative, and this is for the third derivative. So that's the reason why I only extended the Pascal's triangle up to the fourth row, because it is where we're going to find the coefficients when we get the third derivative. So following the Pascal's triangle, we start with our answer, f triple prime of x. First coefficient is 1. Then first function, we copy that. And then next we have 3. Get the derivative of the first function, that is 5x to the fourth. Next is we have 3. So plus 3. In this part here, plus 3. And then we get the derivative of this function. We now have 20x cubed. And finally, it's 20x cubed. And then finally, you have here 1. Then derivative of 20x cubed here, that is 60x squared. That one. And then for the second function, which is e to the x, we start here. We get the derivative. That's e to the x. Now, fortunately for this example, the derivative of e to the x does not change. So everything here is just e to the x. So we simplify now our answer. We now have f triple prime of x. This will be x to the fifth e to the x plus this will be 15 x to the fourth e to the x plus 60 x cubed e to the x plus you now have also 60 x squared e to the x. So this is the answer. Now notice that e to the x is common in each of the term. So to write this answer nice and clean, you can just factor out the e to the x and put it outside the parentheses, put x to the fifth plus 60 plus 15x to the fourth plus 60x cubed plus 60x squared inside the parentheses in order to write this in factored form. But regardless of that, we still were able to get the answer to this one. Next, we have the function f to the x equals x to the 8 sine x. We're going to find f fourth derivative of f of x. So we use the Pascal's triangle again, but this time we extend up to the fifth row because the fifth row contains the necessary coefficients that we need, because again this is for zero, first derivative, second derivative, third derivative, and finally that's fourth derivative. So now have the fourth derivative of x, start with the first with the coefficient, that's 1. Then first function, just copy it, we get x to the 8. And then next we have 4. Derivative of this function is 8x to the 7th. Next is 6. Derivative of this function is 56x to the 6th. And then you have 4. Then derivative of this function again, we have 56 times 6. That's gonna give us 336. So this will be 336x to the 5th. And lastly, you have 1 times derivative of 336x to the 5th. That gives us 1680 x to the 4th. Now, this is for the x to the 8th. Now, we do the other side for sine x. So we have sine x here. Next, derivative of sine x is cosine x. So we multiply this part here by cosine x. Derivative of cosine x is negative sine x. Derivative of negative sine x is, of course, negative cosine x. And then derivative of negative cosine x is, of course, sine x. So it's now complete. You now have the fourth derivative of x. Just add them all together. That's x to the 8th sine x, plus you have this one here. You have 8 times 4. This gives you 32 x to the 7th, or this will be negative because of the cosine. This will be negative 32 x to the 7th cosine x. Then this is negative 56 times 6. This is 336 x to the 6th sine x. And then you have 336 times 4. That gives you 1680 x to the 5th cosine x. And finally you have plus 1680 x to the 4th sine x. So that is now the final answer. So you can factor out the common factor for x, but regardless of that, we're able to get the answer for the fourth derivative of this function. So that's it for this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to get updates on our next videos. Thank you so much and enjoy learning.